Welcome to A Night In with Grand Ron Symphony, brought to you by EO Alive TV and Sorbonauts Coffee. Tonight's music is presented by three of Grand Ron Symphony's members, featuring music director Zachary Banks, Viet Block, and Matt Cooper. Thank you for joining us live from Brent Clapp Studios in downtown La Grande. Tonight's hosts are Grand Ron Symphony's music director Zachary Banks and President Alice Trindle.
Good evening, and welcome to this fundraising event sponsored by the Grand Ron Symphony, Eastern Oregon Alive TV, and Sorbonauts Coffee. I'm Alice Trindle, President of the Grand Ron Symphony Association.
And my name is Zach Banks, and I have the honor of serving as music director and conductor for the Grand Ron Symphony. I don't know about you, Alice, but I have been eagerly awaiting this evening, and we are so excited to be sharing it with you folks at home. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, Zach, it's been quite a year as the Symphony moves into the 73rd season in the midst of a global pandemic. As we looked to programming, rehearsals, and performances happening on a, quote, normal schedule, we quickly realized that to maintain this rich heritage, we needed to re-envision how we can engage the greater community in the joy of orchestral music. Typically, at this time of the year, the orchestra would have been in rehearsals for over a month, and the Symphony Association would be holding the annual fundraising auction. But COVID-19 had another idea. So tonight, we bring you our first virtual performance and the first chamber concert for the season, as we feature three of our Grand Ron Symphony musicians performing incredible pieces. Zach, how did this concept come about?
Well, we knew that we had to move to some form of virtual presentation. So we decided to partner up with Brent Clapp Media and Eastern Oregon Alive TV right here in La Grande. Last month, a piano trio consisting of Viet Block, Matt Cooper, and myself met at Eastern Oregon University to record the performances which you will be seeing tonight. Pianist Matt Cooper is a professor emeritus of music at Eastern Oregon University. He's an active performer throughout the Northwest and beyond, and he has recently been featured as a guest soloist with the Grand Ron Symphony. Not only is Matt a classically trained pianist, he is also an award-winning jazz musician. Viet Block currently resides in Pendleton, Oregon, where she serves as the assistant concertmaster of the Oregon East Symphony. She plays with other regional organizations like the Yakima Symphony and the Boise Philharmonic, and in 2018, she was the open category winner of the Grand Ron Symphony's Concerto Aria competition. On behalf of the trio, I would like to thank the Grand Ron Symphony Association for this rare but wonderful opportunity to perform. So, on to the music. Our first piece on the program, entitled Meditation, is by French composer Jules Massenet. The piece serves as an intermezzo, or interlude, within the second act of Massenet's opera, Thais. While it was originally composed with orchestral accompaniment, we will now hear the arrangement for violin and piano, played by Viet and Matt. Enjoy.
Oh my goodness, Zach. What a beautiful, heartfelt, straight to your soul that piece is. And the interaction between the violin and the piano, it really speaks to the quality of the presentations that come through the Grand Ron Symphony. And what amazing, incredible musicians Matt and Viet are.
Could not agree more. Yeah.
You know, these days, in light of COVID-19, we are encouraging our symphony musicians to continue to keep their bow rosined up and their armature refined by getting together in small ensembles, rehearsing via Zoom or Google, and hopefully, if they feel comfortable, by videotaping a final production to share with our symphony patrons. To that end, the Symphony Association made a commitment early on to continue our contract with you, Zach, as the music director for the Grand Ron Symphony Orchestra. However, I think that with our request, there was a bit of a shift in some of your duties and perhaps even some of the skills that you needed to acquire.
That's right. Well, first, I am so honored to have been welcomed back into the Grand Ron Symphony family. As we all know, orchestras all around the world had to shut down their operations through that last leg of the 2019-2020 season. However, it has been so encouraging to have seen so many artists and arts organizations find ways to adapt to this new environment. So here at the Grand Ron Symphony, we have been sharing music on a monthly basis as part of our online performance series called In Tune with the Grand Ron Symphony. These are typically short, more intimate recordings from our symphony members at home, sharing some of their favorite pieces or projects that they've been working on up until now. In addition, the In Tune series has been featuring some recordings of our Fiddle Club students. They continued their musical studies through the summer, and it has been so inspiring to track their progress and dedication despite the tough circumstances. These In Tune videos can be found on the Grand Ron Symphony YouTube channel and on our website. In order to keep up with all of our news, you can also subscribe to our monthly newsletter when you visit our website. Looking ahead, we're pleased to continue our chamber concert series with more virtual presentations scheduled for the season. On February 20th, we'll host Gretchen Longwell and friends as they share works for piano, organ, and more. And on May 20th, we will get to share an evening with pianist Mio Aoike and other guest artists. This month, the Grand Ron Symphony will start producing a virtual orchestral experience in lieu of our annual children's concert. For years, we've been able to perform for around 400 students at these concerts. So we hope to keep those students engaged with the symphony, even from a distance. Again, you can stay up to date on all of these events by visiting the Grand Ron Symphony website at grandronsymphony.org. Next on the program is one of my all-time favorite chamber works. Written in 1839, this absolutely charming and incredibly beautiful work puts Mendelssohn's proclivity for lyricism on full display. Mendelssohn composed 8 volumes of short solo piano works entitled Songs Without Words. The opening of this trio movement finds the piano alone in delivering an endearing first theme reminiscent of those songs without words. It's not long until we find all 3 instruments in a beautifully choreographed exchange of dialogue. Tensions rise through the middle of the piece, but we ultimately find solace in its resolution. So please, sit back and enjoy the second movement, Andante con moto tranquillo, from Mendelssohn's Piano Trio No. 1.
Well, perhaps some of our listeners, Zach, were similar to me in that they were a bit unfamiliar with the Andante trio, piano trio by Mendelssohn. And perhaps like me, now have a new favorite to add to their heartstrings. Oh, it was just so incredibly beautiful. Thank you.
It's truly our pleasure. Thank you, Alice.
You know, again, to think that we have this level of quality musicians right here in northeastern Oregon who are involved with the Grand Ronde Symphony is really a testament to the professionalism of this 73-year-old orchestra and its various related programs. Programs such as SOAR, String and Orchestral Arts Revitalization, in conjunction with the La Grande School District, bring after-school programs such as Fiddle Club, Fiddle Labs, and the Grand Ronde Student Symphony to keep our children actively engaged in the joy of making music. And these programs are continuing in spite of COVID-19 with virtual online learning, practice, and even performances. Under the direction of Carla Arnold, Denise Hatton, Kathy Timmis, and Mark Emerson, Fiddle Clubs and Student Symphony will start rehearsals this coming week. Another Grand Ronde Symphony program provides an avenue for smaller ensembles and regional musicians to perform in an intimate setting through our chamber concert series. In fact, tonight's performance is our first official chamber concert. We will be presenting, as Zach mentioned earlier, 2 more chamber concerts in the 2021 season, and both will be presented virtually and online, similar to tonight's presentation. Add to this mix the children's concert and the in-tune video vignettes that, again, Zach had talked about before, and you begin to see that the Grand Ronde Symphony is truly igniting a new normal, at least for the coming months, of meeting our mission for enhancing the quality of life of the region's citizens by providing life-enriching musical opportunities. That is why this year, perhaps more than ever, we need your assistance to keep the music flowing. In fact, we're so happy that you tuned in tonight, as we see there are a number of folks that have joined us both via the websites and via Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Now it's even easier for you to financially support your symphony by visiting us online at grandrondesymphony.org and click on the donate button. Consider joining our sustaining circle by making it an annual contribution and look to a monthly amount, or you could look to a monthly amount to be given through your banking account arranged by you through your local bank. As a special incentive, we teamed up with Sorbonauts Coffee to offer 2 lucky winners a drink a day over a 6-month period. Now here's how it will work. For every $50 of contribution that comes in between tonight and November 15th, we will enter your name into a drawing to win one of 2 drink for a day package from Sorbonauts Coffee. Each is over a $900 value, and with locations in Baker City, La Grande, Pendleton, Hermiston, and Ontario, you have a lot of opportunities to get a fabulous coffee, tea, or many other types of beverages from Sorbonauts. We need your help. Contribute online to the address you see at the bottom of the screen, or send in your check to P.O. Box 824 in La Grande, 97850.
Yes, another huge thank you to Sorbonauts Coffee for their sponsorship. And what an awesome prize for that drawing. To echo Alice a bit further, your continued support allows us to thrive as a local cultural organization. We would love nothing more than to continue the tradition of bringing music to our audience members for many more years to come. Your support breathes life into our community and ensures that the music keeps on going. So on that note, the finale of our program features a favorite in the canon of chamber music literature, the first movement of Piano Trio No. 1 in B major by Johannes Brahms. This particular work is the only one by Brahms that exists in 2 publications. The first version was completed in 1854 when Brahms was 20 years old, but the most commonly performed version, which we will hear tonight, was published 35 years later. So as a result, the listener has an opportunity to get a sort of multidimensional, stereoscopic view of the composer from 2 completely different periods within his life. We had so much fun rehearsing this piece and performing it, so we hope you have as much fun watching from home. Here's the first movement, Allegro con brio, of Piano Trio No. 1 by Johannes Brahms.
What a fitting piece with which to close our first virtual concert and conclude a night in with the symphony. Brahms is never a walk in the park for the musicians, but Zach, you, Matt, and Viet made it look and sound effortless. Thank you so much for sharing your talent.
It's truly our pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, as we bid farewell tonight, I want to again thank our sponsors, which include the Grand Ronde Symphony Association, Sorbonauts Coffee, and Eastern Oregon Alive TV. And of course, I want to particularly thank our incredible musicians, Matt Cooper on piano, Viet Block on violin, and our own music director, Mr. Zachary Banks, playing the cello. We invite you to consider financially supporting your symphony and its programs such as these virtual presentations, the SOAR youth activities, and the chamber concerts, simply by contributing today. Visit us online at the address you see at the bottom of the screen, or send a check to P.O. Box 824 in La Grande, 97850. Your assistance will preserve this 73-year-old tradition and keep the music flowing.
Thanks again to our sponsors, to the Eastern Oregon University Music Department. Thank you to my wonderful co-host, and of course, a huge thank you to you, our listeners. You can share this performance with friends and family after tonight's broadcast by visiting our website at grandrondesymphony.org. Please stay tuned for more virtual performances, and it has truly been a pleasure hosting the inaugural Night In with the Symphony. Good night.